Inkognito is a reprint from last year in the board game world that really got a lot of buzz, and now it's on iOS. I have to admit, the cover on this one was terribly misleading to me. I thought it was going to be some sort of, complicated trading game in the Mediterranean. I had no idea it was a very creative deduction game that has very simple rules that can be enjoyed by families and competitive players alike. And it's got a great home here on iPad, so let's take a look. In the game, you are one of 4 secret agents. You have an identity, which is the house or agency that you work for. Then you have a body type, which could be one of 3. You have pawns from each body type. And as the game progresses, you will be able to ask questions of players. When someone asks you a question, you will show them 2 or 3 cards, usually 3. And in this case, one of them must be true, at least one. So you can, depending on what they ask you, you will either reveal to them 2 possible body types or 2 possible identities, and then one of the other. The player will then record that and be able to start making deductions about who you may be and who the other players may be. And you are not allowed to give player the same information twice. In this case, I have found who my partner is, and I'm trying to reveal myself to them. Your partner shares a goal with you. Once you find out which of the other players is your partner, you want to find out what their half of the goal letter is, and by combining the 2 letters, you will find out what you're trying to accomplish. So in this case, we are trying to accomplish landing a piece on Mr. X. So we have to not only know who we are, but try to deduce who Mr. X is so that we can land a piece on his exact piece. So I began the plan of trying to deduce that, as my player also works towards the same goal. During all of this, we do not want the other partnership to know that we are a partnership. And so it's all about deducing, figuring things out, and not revealing yourself to the other players. It sounds much more complicated than it is, and there are a few rules about movement and things based on different colors, and an ambassador which can help you reveal other players. But at its basic heart, it's a deduction game about moving around a board, asking questions to players, and trying to deduce who they are, who's your partner, what your goal is, and then accomplishing that goal. It's a very fun deduction game that is great for players that like deduction games, and also those that don't, because if you're not great at deduction games, in this one you have a partner, so you can really rely on your partner as long as you make yourself available and provide the correct information to them. Inkognito has an interactive menu that allows you to look at very different options that you can choose from, including play, credits, extras, and a tutorial, which I have to admit was a little difficult to follow. That's one of the weaknesses of this game. I believe the tutorial was really not strong enough. I ended up watching a video online on Board Game Geek and was able to pick up the game, but really I think that they need to work on the tutorial so it's much more accessible to players on the iPad, since it is a fairly simple game, though it does seem daunting at first. Wow, I really enjoy this game. The iOS version is really well done. It's AI only right now, which is kind of disappointing, but I don't think there is really a logical way to make it work with human players on an iPad, either passing it or online, though online may be more possible, but passing it would just be extremely confusing and give a lot away. The design and UI are really well done. As you can see here, they look very beautiful. It is a little subtle in some of its teaching, but once you learn what it's doing, then it makes a lot of sense. You start to understand what the colors mean, and how to keep track of things. It actually is really beautifully done, but again, maybe just a little too subtle, as you may spend more time trying to figure out than is needed. The AI players seem strong, definitely competitive. I couldn't find a way to adjust their difficulty, though that may be in the settings and I may have missed it. One of the confusions I had is I did chase my opponent down, or I'm sorry, my partner, and I revealed myself to him, but he proceeded to not reveal himself to me, which was very strange. But I eventually was able to make the connection, and we were able to win the game. So I definitely think the AI is strong, but again, some players may find it a little difficult that they always will have to be a partner with a computer opponent. I really have to recommend Inkognito. It's not the best iOS game I've ever played, however, it is very well done, and something I definitely recommend you check out. The game has the ability to capture this deduction game in a single-player environment, which I think is really fascinating. I know it's just AI players, but that those AI players can actually provide an interesting deduction experience is very positive to me, and I definitely recommend you check it out.